And I found myself at times during this week tempted to say being tested, but I believe it was falling back to the old default mode network, if you will. My previous way of thinking, the old man, so to speak. Because especially when you're tired, kind of exhausted, mentally or physically or both, it's easy to not be as aware, conscious, normally would be. Now there are obviously ways to circumvent this, but in my particular instance, I'm going to use myself as a case study here, and I think it was very fitting. And what could have been an opportunity to lament was actually an opportunity to learn. And I'm grateful that I was able to spin that, if you will, and really see that experience showed me how far I've come. And I encourage each and every one of you, all brothers and sisters here, when those experiences arise, inevitably they will arise. I'm not going to lie to you, they will arise. Acknowledge the fact that your recognition of that, your even minute awareness of it, is verifiable proof of how far you have come. I'm going to say that again. Your awareness of that old way of thinking, rearing its ugly head, coming back at you, arising those feelings within you, sitting with that, and it's uncomfortable. You may be even experiencing that for a little bit. Your awareness of that, however small, however minute, is verifiable proof of how far you have come and how far you have moved above and beyond that awareness. That, listen to me, that is a victory. Emphatically, that is a victory given to us by the Father of light so that we can see how our mind has been renewed. And it is tiring at times, especially when you see it's easy to look at this world from a place of lack. I think it's what we all do. That's really the default network for all of us. I mean, if you don't believe me, just walk around and count how often you hear anybody complain about anything. Literally anything. It's like a talent. It's like a sixth sense that we have as human beings to just find something to complain about, right? And I can say this as someone who used to do that. That's no way to live your life. That's really not. You're only hurting yourself because your mind is now in that state. Your vibration has now sunk down to that level, right? It's a lose-lose. Like, it makes no sense to keep doing this, but we don't think about it like that. But I thought it would be a fun exercise. Just go around and just observe. You know, don't judge. I know. I'm the same way. We did the same thing. Just observe, and you will be like, this is ridiculous. This is actually crazy. Yeah, like, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day, man. The birds are literally chirping. I mean, yeah, traffic's heavy, but I mean, you got a radio. Listen to some tunes. Crank up the AC. You know, just chill. Just be. Aside from that, but and when you look at it from a standpoint of lack, that's all you're ever going to see. It's like, oh, why don't I have these people? Or why am I not doing this? Or they're doing that? Or I could be having this much fun. Or I could be over here partying, having a whole bunch of fun. But here's the thing about that. It's not that it isn't fun. Okay? That's cap. That's a lie. I'm not going to sit here and say that it isn't fun. It's that it isn't meaningful. It doesn't have any purpose. It isn't fulfilling. Genuinely, it is not fulfilling. It's vacuous, right? It takes. And what does it give you? Short-term gratification. But it takes. And what does it give you? Short-term gratification. tiresome and it was tedious, but I made genuine progress with it. And it was cool that I got to build that. It was cool that I got to work on that. I saw my efforts, my tangible efforts, and though I'm not finished, I still got to go back. I still got to work on it. I came a long way. I came a long way. And it was actually, you know what? Ironically, it was a little bit of fun. Not a lot. Not a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, but it was a little bit of fun because you get to play around with your natural talents, the things you're good at. And that is enjoyable. It's like children when they're playing. You think they're thinking about anything when they're playing? I mean, as a former child myself, I think I can say with some verifiable degree of authority, I wasn't thinking about anything when I was playing. I was straight up chilling. I was like, I'm a race car. I'm sitting here. I'm a race car driver. I'm the best race car driver in this entire world. I'm a prodigy. They don't even want to put me behind the wheel because I just smoked the competition. Like, oh, it's this guy again. I got sponsors lining up autographs. It's like I had people sign my autographs for me. And I'm just like, I can't be bothered right now. I'm focused on the track. I'm focused on racing. Right? I'm just spinning laps in my head. I'm using that as an example because I wanted to be a race car driver when I was a kid. So I thought that was fitting. Also, I still believe I'd be a great race car driver. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. You're not thinking about anything. You're just playing. Right? You're fully in tune to the moment, present. Right? And the theme of tonight's video is an illustrious one. And it's an illustration. The last video I gave you an exercise. This time I'm going to go with an illustration. Yeah? And it goes like this. Societal conditioning. Society's ideals, beliefs, programs, propaganda, societal conditioning as vapor. Now, what exactly is that? Well, that's exactly what it is. Vapors. Fleeting. Barely here. Barely even registered. The illusion that lends any sort of credence to it, however false, is how loud or how, I guess I could say, prevalent this vapor is. And it makes you think that if you're not in it, if you're not amongst the fog, walking as in a mist with all the other sleepwalkers, then you're somehow wrong, somehow missing out on something. You are left behind, missing something. No, you're not missing anything. I'm not missing anything. You are whole. You are complete. I am whole. I am complete. You don't say it as an affirmation, you say it as a fact, as a knowing. I am complete. I am whole. Now, it's one thing to say that. It's another thing to say it in the face of a society that is practically screaming at you. Screaming at you. The exact opposite. No. You need to be over here. You need to be doing this. You need to be in this relationship. You need to be here by this point in your life. And you should be here, and you should be over there, and you should be doing this, and you should cannot stress this point enough. Society's... I'm saying it to myself as much as I'm saying it to y'all. Be real. Like, I'm saying it to myself right now. Society's program, okay, can be uninstalled. You can uninstall it. Like, I do not want this to make changes to my computer. No, I actually think I'm going to uninstall it right now. Because this is bogus, man. This isn't what I signed up for. And if I continue to go down this direction, I'm going to be miserable. Like, you have that self-awareness to know you're lying to yourself. You're moving away from your heart's desire. Right? You have to move with your heart's desire, especially if you ever want to fulfill it. You want to live a purposeful life, meaningful life, a genuinely meaningful life to you. That's the only person that has to have meaning for you. You're the one living it. You cannot move away from your heart's desire. And that's what society wants you to do. That's what this matrix wants you to do. Because you feed this system. Right? Don't do that. You'll be dead before you ever die. But what did Christ say? He said, he who finds my words, he who goes by my teachings, even though he dies, he will live. Man shall not live by bread alone, by every word that comes from the mouth of God. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and these things will be added to you. But it's the reverse of the society, as it can appear to be an inversion of the kingdom of heaven. Backwards. You think, I have to strive. I have to get this in order to be that. I have to get this relationship, right? I have to get this relationship in order to be satisfied. No, you are satisfied now. See, this is the thing. This is where the reverse begins. You're satisfied now. You are complete now. Whether you get that relationship or not. Whether you get that job or not. Whether you get that vehicle or not. Whether you move over here or not. External circumstances do not matter. They do not matter. I say this as someone who for so long allowed himself to be defined by external circumstances. Who let himself be a victim because of it. I had to take accountability for it. I didn't want to. Spoiler alert. I did not want to do that. But I had to. And there was a quote I heard, and I love this quote. And I live by this quote now. I try to say it to myself. As, frequently as I can. When I remember. Not too frequently. I just want to saturate my subconscious. Again, circumstances do not matter. Only state of being matters. You're going to let what's out there define you. When what's in here shapes can even be defined out there. What is in here shapes what can be defined. Societal conditioning is really fleeting. I would advise all of you, brothers and sisters, I would advise all of you to minimize listening to that as much as you can. Now, when I say minimize listening, obviously don't consume certain content, the news, right? I would be very careful how you curate your feed, how you use social media, because it's easy for it to get insidious. You know what I mean? For it to really get in there and start affecting your perception, because it will affect your perception sooner or later, little by little. It always does. No exceptions. But when you get to a point where you've taken your attention away from it for so long, for such a sustained amount of time. Your energy has quite literally shifted away from that. Now when you get caught up in it, so to speak, it just brushes off you. Like, oh, that's nothing. Like, oh, for real? That's crazy. Oh, wow, crazy story, bro. Wow. I don't recall asking. I mean, you can have fun with it at this point, but for real, it gets to a point, and even when you have those days like I was having this week, it was a heavy week, very busy week, I had to, kind of mentally exhausting. And I found myself rehashing on a little bit of the old story, and it didn't feel very good. I mean, I wasn't depressed, thankfully. My energy has shifted to such a level where I don't really get depressed, especially not like I used to, not at all. But I definitely was brooding, right? So I was very introspective, very quiet, brooding. I like to brood. It's a part of my personality. I have to get it out. And I found myself just like, man, I'm tired. Doing all this. What's going on? Later, it occurred to me that the old me would have focused on the results. He would have focused so heavily on the external. He had to see something, right? In order for him to feel something. It's a mistake. That's why I can talk about this. I gave myself the hall pass because I was prodigious, unfortunately, at executing all of this to my own detriment. Now I realize, reverse, run it back, and then go forward. Because it's when I feel it in here, when I feel like, you know what, man, I am tired. I had a great week. It was very productive. I got everything that I needed to get done. Tiring, yes, but I done come a long way, a long way. And the results that I thought I needed to see in order to fulfill me were never going to fulfill me. Because that's external, you see. Fulfillment comes from within. Fulfillment is a gift given by the Father to his children, by the Most High given to his sons and his daughters, his princes and his princesses. Are you ladies with me? It is not required. You strive for it. You don't need to work for that. It's given. You have it. Boom, you have it. Congratulations. For real. Start acting like it. Start walking like it. Start embodying it. And when you feel those moments of like, oh man, I don't think nothing's happening, I don't think anything's working, I'm not seeing any results, this is tiring, what is going on right now? And maybe you should settle. Right? Settle for that relationship. Better than being alone, right? It'll be somebody. Settle for that job. It's better than constantly having to worry about money. This will be a steady income, steady paycheck. Settle for that place. Like, oh, it's not really what I wanted, but I mean, it'll work. It's a roof over our head, right? It's something. Always remember, the external does not define you. Society's conditioning does not define you. Other people's beliefs about that, largely propagated by their own investment into society's conditioning, which they were inundated with when they were growing up. Probably also by their parents, who were inundated with it when they were growing up. Probably also by their parents. It's just, people don't know any better than just perpetuate the cycle. Perpetuate the cycle. Perpetuate the cycle. You know better. If you're watching this, you do know better. Do not perpetuate the cycle. You're better than that. Don't do it. You don't need to do it. You don't have to. You can break free. Be like, I ain't kicking this can down the road anymore. I'm picking this can up. I'm crushing it. I'm 3-pointing it straight into the trash can. Or into the, recycle. Excuse me. lack. Remember, there is no lack. There's only learning. You're learning now just how illusory this whole show is. The curtain calls, so to speak. This is. There is no point in looking at society for any sort of advice, quite frankly, on what to do. You should look at it for advice on what not to do. Like, okay, I know that doing all of this will probably lead me to have a miserable life. And if I am successful, I'm going to be dead inside, right? Or I could look within and I could be successful. My own meaning of it, which is more meaningful than society's, my own version of success, successful, and alive. The dead are not alive, and the living shall not die. Society's dead. That's the dead one. The dead are not alive. They're dead. We are the living ones, children of the Father of lights. The living shall not die. We cannot die. We have the bread of life, the sword of the Spirit, nectar that is like honey, proverbs of the prophets. See, in our moments of discouragement, we genuinely should count it all joy, because it further emboldens our faith, further strengthens us that much more, cultivates genuine resilience. I'm talking like straight up resiliency where you're walking out just out and about, just doing your thing, and people are looking at you like, dang, who's this guy? Like, dang, who's this chick? Like, they're straight up looking you up and down, man, right? Because now you're undeniable. You've done the work, and what is hidden will be made manifest. What is done in the darkness will come to light. And now in that darkness you were working. In that darkness you were growing. In that darkness you were understanding who you really are, what you're really here for. Not to play by society, not to perpetuate that agenda. That didn't help anybody. It doesn't serve anybody's interests except the ones that nefariously created it in the first place. But that's okay, because now you understand. You choose the path. Choose the path that Christ walked. They can't touch you. Maybe they can touch your flesh. They can't touch your spirit. No, they can't. They really can't. And so you are a different wavelength. You're moving about, surfing different vibrations, man. There ever was one. That's truth. Beyond any societal comprehension. So remember that, brothers and sisters. Remember. And I'm saying this as much to myself as I am to you right now, tonight. Each and every one of you, remember. This world does not define us. Society does not define us. We define us. We define society. We define how we move through society. If you look at lack, all you're going to see is lack. You look at abundance. Abundance. All you're going to see is abundance. All you're going to see is opportunity. Patience really is a virtue. I've come to experience that myself. The more patience goes along with it. If you already know that abundance has got your name on it, abundance is for you. And there's no problem being patient about it. It's inevitable. Inevitable. Something that society and its so-called agenda could never hope to be their wildest dreams. Fanciful fantasies. us, each and every one of you. Pass through the vapor. Walk the path that you have been chosen to walk. When you get discouraged, remember that discouragement itself is a sign